Hey, community, welcome back. And if this is your first time here, I'm Dr. Blaire, a doc in clinical psychology. And on this channel, we discuss psychology, inspiration, social justice, and all topics in between. First things first, hit that subscribe and bell button. I need to see you back next week. And of course, stay tuned because today we will enter yet again the battlefield. All right, so this month again, we will enter the battlefield. And this battlefield that we're going to be entering is entitled the beauty industry. Now, remember, the battlefield is going to be a recurring series that we will see here off and on. It will be either myself or a community member that is coming on to discuss a personal and or professional battlefield that they have been on before, that they are currently on. And remember, the battlefield is the place that we release, reclaim, and reestablish our justice, whether it's justice of our mind, body, soul, and or spirit. And without further ado, I again have once another special community member, but this is your first time seeing her here, and she is near and dear to my heart. She is my twin. Y'all have heard it before, and you're going to keep hearing it again. Please welcome Stephanie J. She is here to talk about the battlefield of the beauty industry. So welcome, Stephanie J, aka Twin. I so appreciate you being here with us.
Thank you. And it's an honor and a privilege, Dr. Blaire. Thank you for inviting me.
Awesome.
Dr. Twin.
Dr. Twin, I love that. Yes, so you have been in the beauty industry for...
I'll say it. Almost 32 years licensed as a licensed cosmetologist. Should I go on about how I've worked in the industry?
Absolutely.
I mean, it does age me, but I'm okay with telling my age. I feel like one gift that the industry does have is like we age gracefully and we're very youthful in spirit. And that could be a blessing and a curse. But I have been in the beauty industry for almost 32 years. Pretty fresh out of high school. So that makes me 52 years old, which I proudly wear that. Yes.
And doesn't look it at all.
At all. And that's air. And I am a licensed cosmetologist. I am a licensed esthetician. I am a licensed cosmetology educator. I have been an ambassador for several years for L'Oreal. There, they taught me how to do trade shows and corporate event planning. And now I took that skill and I work for a booking app. I'll just give it a plug, Booksy. Love me some Booksy. Such a beautiful community, but I am their events marketing coordinator, and I set up their regional, local, and nationwide trade shows and, just smaller shows and events. So multifaceted in the beauty industry and still hold quite a few licensing, and that's my passion, for the industry.
Absolutely. And we'll make sure that we put all of her information in the description box below so that you can make sure you're staying in contact with this lovely, multi-passionate, multi-business minded, like she got everything going on. Like she's like licensed here, licensed there, like she's licensed up, y'all. But one of the things that I've heard you talk about is how being in this industry, we are not surprised that the things that we experience with our body, the way that we look, obviously impacts how we feel about ourselves, which by far is connected by our mental state. So tell me about one of the experiences or when you came in contact with this concept of like, whoa, I am actually taking on more than I knew I was going to take on when I was in cosmetology school. And you learned that you were going to be coming in contact with other parts of people, other parts of their lives that you probably were not prepared for.
I don't know. That almost made me very emotional. But I'll drop a tear because not that I'm a crybaby, but I am passionate about people. God has given me a gift of hospitality, and that is something that you really have to have in order to be in any service industry. I am a mentor. I am a friend to many, and my clients, outside of getting their hair done, will
Mhm.
call me at the drop of a hat, for some wisdom. So, with that said, I thank God, it's by the grace of God that I have been spiritually grounded for
Mhm.
years.
Yeah.
I've made my own mistakes in life. I had a child at 19 and then another child at 30 going through a really horrible divorce. I've been through friendships. I have had to give healthy distances from friendships that were not for me,
Mhm.
not in a bad way. It's not like I don't really care. Like, I hate it when we so focus on haters, the haters this, the haters that.
Right, right.
That is a pet peeve of mine, because even though you God gives you wisdom and you realize, like, this isn't for me,
Mhm.
any type of relationship, like, this isn't for me,
Yeah.
that wisdom comes from God, and you could bow out gracefully without revenge or without um trying to carry on that hurt.
Mhm.
Hurt people, but I also say that heal people.
Yeah.
And that's something I had to learn for myself. And I even forgot, like, the question that you asked. Oh, I remember. So the thing is, just learning, like, women, we go through so much. We go through so much. I've had clients that have been married and divorced. I have clients that have been married and married for years and still married and not happily married.
Mhm.
I've had young women, older women in the dating scene, and we discussed that. We discussed so many topics in
Mhm.
my chair. Me being a single mom and raising two young men because they're grown now. I'm often asked questions like, "Well, what did you do with this son, and what did you do with this
Mhm.
son?" Because both of my children, my young men, have different personalities. I'll say it like that.
Mhm.
So you can't treat them the same. And so it just, I don't know, like, I'll just go back to God. It's God that's given me wisdom, and he's given me the gift of being non-judgmental,
Mhm.
because who am I to judge? I've made some crazy choices in life. And I believe this is why I'm here, because through the choices I've made, through the hurts that I've been through,
Mhm.
heal people. And
Yeah.
that's what I want to pour out.
Mhm.
I pour out this unconditional love that I know is a gift from God, because things that I have been through, it could have easily been just a bitter life for me, and
Mhm.
I refuse to give in to that.
Yeah. Do you
Yeah.
feel that your personal experiences help you to be better prepared for those other areas within being in the beauty industry so that you were able to pour back out to other people? In other words, I'm almost hearing you say that the more that I healed, the more I was able to help other people be healed. Not just helping them to feel good on the outside, but also helping that to translate on the inside due to the healing that God has embraced you or given to you.
Yes, 100%. We put on layers in the
Mhm.
beauty industry. I have on layers now to look good, for the camera.
Me too.
Um, hello, and and boom and pow and what. But when you peel it off, I always, I ask the question is like, so where's your self-esteem?
Mhm.
And it's not about the superficial. So if you peel back the layers, are you able to be confident with who you are and what you have left? Like, I'm a mature woman, I'm in my 50s. So there are things that's going on with me. I'll say it like, hair is thinner. I'm a lot curvier than I used to be. My face, I got a little double chin. So things are not the way it was when I was 30 or when I was
Mhm.
20, and I didn't have to struggle with those,
Mhm.
superficial issues. I have a thyroid issue, I have high blood pressure issue, it's always up and down.
Mhm.
So when you go through these things, you can come and you could put all types of makeup on all day, you could put all the hair you want on your head,
Yeah.
but at the end of the day, are you okay with your choices that you're making? And are you happy with yourself? Are you happy with who you are as a person? Are you happy with how you offer the world? Are you contributing to the world, or are you snatching away from it with pettiness and gossip and things that we do? Like, are we edifying one another?
Mhm. Mhm.
Are you putting up with stuff in your home that you know you shouldn't be? How are you living your life in front of your kids?
Yeah,
So,
that's really good. And I mean, it's almost makes me think that people, you get to see us. I'm one of those people as well. You get to see some of us in our raw state. The moment when we don't get to have the layers on. I know I would always think, oh, I go into the shop looking a hot mess, but when I come out, I'm ready to pop out and whatnot. I'm looking good. I'm feeling better, right? But you get to see some people in their raw state, not just physically, not just because their hair isn't in tip top shape, so to speak, but also you get to see some of the other parts, some of their raw vulnerabilities, because people have built trust with you over a period of time, and you have come to know them not just as a client, but also as a person, and vice versa. And so just hearing this process that as you have grown, and I don't know if you all caught it, but you actually hit 2 points that is really key for the battlefield is you released this idea, you released this feeling, you released this unhealed part of self, and then started reclaiming who you ought to be. And because you started to heal, you were then able to operate as a healing agent, not just as a beauty agent, but a healing agent that went forth and helped other people to become healed. So now I'm curious,
mm,
now that you have released, now that you have reclaimed, where are you in your reestablishment phase? Do you feel like you are still reestablishing your justice as a beauty industry professional? Or have you, started to realize, actually, though I wear that hat, it comes with many other little hats that's underneath it? Like, what does that reestablishment of justice within your industry look like?
hmm. So let me, it's a point you made,
Mhm.
vulnerability.
Sure.
Ooh, that
Yeah.
that was and then I also say that God has given me the ability to be a change agent,
Mm,
and people are vulnerable, and not
absolutely.
just like I said, not just a superficial, not that I just see like what your hair looks like when the weave is
Mhm.
out, what your face looks like your what you call, what we would call, or you would call personally, your flaw.
Mm,
Like I get to see it in the raw,
right.
and I get to see where that you lack self-esteem, or I get to see or hear where we tear down another queen in
Mm,
order to build our self-esteem,
right.
and it hurts. And then it's so crazy because people, like, they're not happy until they want to draw you in, like
Mhm,
the old saying, like misery loves company.
mhm.
And it's so hard, like you struggle with the flesh, like you want to go there, but then I know God, that's not where I'm supposed to be. And
Yeah.
it's a God thing.
Yeah.
He has pointed me as a change agent, and I don't break that down to
Into
people.
that. Yeah.
I don't explain myself, but I'm always constantly checking myself, or
Mm,
I'm even apologizing to people because of something I've said. Like I don't want to hurt people. And I think I posted that on Facebook or something similar to it. But people attribute your niceness to being weak. And
mhm,
I remember grandma, your mom, your grandma, my mom would always say, people take your love and kindness for weakness. It's
mhm.
not that I'm weak. I know God has me on a journey of spreading love.
Yeah.
And that's why Christ died for us to love one another. So fast forwarding to where I am now, I'm able to be strong enough to say, I don't want to do that with you. That's not cool. Oh, they look beautiful. Or he just has me reestablishing the energy in the beauty field, and being a beacon of light,
Yes.
a
Okay. So
beacon of light.
did you catch that, folks? Let's just break that down. Hold on. Hold on. When you say things, we have to sometimes do a little playback. We're going to do a playback instead of editing it.
Okay.
You said that God has reestablished it so that I can be a beacon of light. Here's another way of saying that God is using you in the beauty industry to reestablish his order, and that is justice. God is always going to stand for justice. He is always going to stand for the scales being balanced. And sometimes when we go about life, we don't really break it down and think about, like, oh, it's actually that deep, but it is that deep. And when we're able to put language to the things that are happening in our lives, it actually helps us to feel more empowered about the very thing that we were designed to do. And then we start to realize, oh, yeah, I am living a purpose purpose-filled life. I am doing the thing that I am purposed for, which helps you feel a little bit more fuel that the next time you like, oh, I don't feel like doing it, you think about, but I'm on top of my purpose. So here you are in your purpose, standing and doing God's work in the beauty industry where you're breaking down this barrier, breaking down this facade that you don't have to look like this, you don't have to look like that, you don't look like that, you don't have to look like her or even him, but you can look like you, and you can feel just as confident in that. You can walk just as strongly in that rawness, in that vulnerability that you feel in my seat. You can do it outside of here. And that is a beautiful transition that he has sent you to reestablish his order and to reset what the idea of beauty actually is, and that's within. That's beautiful. That's what I got. I don't know about y'all. Drop it in the
That's
comments what you
poetic,
got.
girl. You
That
you
was
did that.
good. That was good.
That
Yeah.
was good.
I
That
love
was
that
good.
so much. And so I'm a little bit biased. I've had the opportunity to see you over the course of life and see some of these transitions, see you in different areas in the beauty industry, see some of the highs, see some of the lows, see some of the wows, see some of the, I'm all for it, see some of the like, whoo, I'm tired, or I've been working all day long and I've been on my feet and my hands hurt and stuff like that. I've seen a lot of those transitions, but to be able to hear it here, obviously she told you she had a wealth of years of experience, which we by far could not, wrap up in the amount of time that we've been recording. But just to hear this journey of you releasing, reclaiming, and reestablishing justice on this particular battlefield of the beauty industry has been God sent. Now, here's my last question. Are you still on this battlefield or have you exited?
Oh my goodness. There's no turning back. I'm
Mm,
committed. I'm committed. I'll share. I ran into one of my mentees or proteges today out of
mhm.
nowhere, and I won't say her name,
Okay.
but she's near and dear to my heart. And I'm a teacher, an educator at a beauty school,
Mhm.
um, and I often carry or there are just a small group of young ladies that will follow me along the
Yeah.
journey. And I love that connection. Like I love being there for them. And
Mhm.
even working for Booksy, when I hear a young lady is a student, or I'll say a young person is a student, I'll even give them my Instagram. I'm like, I've been a owner of a salon. I have worked for movies. I've worked and traveled the world, with some major companies, and I'm still traveling, throughout the US, for a company, and I get to connect with people. And I always tell them, like, if you ever feel like giving up, if you ever doubt yourself, reach out to me on IG and let's have a chat so that I can encourage you, to continue on the journey. And the young lady, she said that her post was something she was just reposting. And I'm like, okay. I said, but I went right in her post and I said, you know what? Hey, Queen, we don't do this. This is not how we represent ourselves. And I ran into her. This was just a few days ago, and today, out of nowhere, in the most inconspicuous place, I ran into her,
Mhm.
and she was like, just talking and excited, because she
Yeah.
getting ready to start the salon. And I helped her with some interview tips and encouraging her, saying, you got this. Like, you doubt yourself, but you got this. You walk
Yeah.
in there with confidence and you speak what you've learned, and you
Mhm.
speak your knowledge, and you don't hold your head down. You hold your head up. Another nugget of wisdom from mommy, from
Mhm.
grandma. And so she got the job, and now this is a very popular company, and
Mhm.
I've been encouraging her to just keep pushing. And then when I read what she posted, it was petty. I was like, that was petty. And she said, Miss Steph, I knew you were going to say that. I said, so if you knew I was going to say it, if you knew I was going to bring it up, like, you've been talking to me almost, I give you my time. My time is valuable, by the way,
Mhm.
because I am a busy person. And if I pick up my phone, I'm sacrificing, and I don't take that lightly, because this is where I am in life. and unapologetically, and respectfully. And so I said, we don't do that. We have people are watching you, and your brand should be positive. And if it's not, then maybe our connection is not meant to be. I said, because we're going to put good energy into the world, and we're going to spread the gospel, and we're just going to be a beacon of light, and there are other younger generations of hairstylists and beauty professionals that are watching us. So we can't do what the world is doing.
Right.
So the
So we
answer to your question is 100%. It's no turning back for me. You're my niece, you're my twin, and I have other young nieces, and I have other young people that look up to me. There's no room to turn back, because how I'm viewed, I want it to be as authentic as it can be.
Yeah.
Period.
I love
No
that.
fake stuff. And I
Because that's
work
just
on
way
it.
too
I'm
much
not
work.
perfect.
Yeah.
It is.
It's
It
way
is to
too
be
much
out
work.
here faking and shaking. But authenticity is important. Being genuine is important to me. And sometimes it may be a struggle. I'm in a superficial, sometimes fake industry, but that's not what God called me to be. And the answer to your question again is just like, no, I don't have an option. I love where I am now.
I love
And I
that
love growth.
because you went through two battlefields. You went through a battlefield for yourself, and then now you are there to help other people. Which is, I need to find out what's a term for that. But right now we're gonna call you the agent, the beauty agent that is out there on the battlefield helping people get through. And she is allowing God to shine his light through her. And I think that's beautiful. Thank you so much.
Thank you
I
for
greatly appreciate
having
and love you. I appreciate you for being here and for sharing not only your story, but even sharing what is to come, because this is showing where you are now. But I believe that greater is to come through you because you have submitted to God. And for those reasons, y'all, drop into the comments. We need to know, has any of this related to you? I know a lot has related to me, especially as women, because in Black women especially, so much emphasis on our hair and how we've gotten to a place where we feel more comfortable with our natural hair, but it hasn't always been like that. And I think that there's more work to be done, and she has just shared what it's like being in the beauty industry on the other end. Some of us, we are the consumers, but here she is as the beauty agent. And I just am curious about your thoughts, so thank you so much for being here. I greatly appreciate it. Like, comment, subscribe, and share. Share with your community, and make sure that you are sharing with someone else. But I have a very important question for you. In the wise words of Stephanie J, peel the layers back. And I want to know then, who are you? Who are you after you peel back those layers? It's a personal question. You don't have to drop it in the comments, but if you do, I will respond, I assure you. And if you see this sweater, you can only see a little bit. I have to insert a picture here, but it says made by heaven, and what is it? It's on here. Seek Jesus. If you are interested in this sweater, I will put the link down in the description box, and also my promo code for you to get 15% off. But remember, before you go, and I see you next week, if I'm great and you're great, then we're a great community.